Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, and what is going on? How y'all doing tonight? It's actually Wednesday night when I'm recording this. But of course, we're totally talking about Saturday night. This is the Club of the Man 1993, and tonight will be a Saturday night extravaganza because I am recording this now, and I still gotta do my SummerSlam review. But I'm only recording this one first. I don't have as much time right now to do the SummerSlam review. But this will be uploaded after I go live for my SummerSlam review tonight. But as promised, I did promise an AEW Collision review. When I saw the advertisement for CM Punk versus Ricky Starks for the real AEW World Championship with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as a special ring enforcer, I wanted to watch it. And unfortunately, though, again, this past week between traveling for SummerSlam and everything else, I was watching the show. I'm like, I just can't help but just love this show. But again, it's just like, it's like the back burner. It's like the new toy that is still getting the word out. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a match advertised for Collision next week, and I'm like, damn it. Like, it's a pay-per-view quality match, which I will share what it is a little later. But I need a break. I really, really need a break. Again, I'm already super behind this week. And again, as awesome as Collision is, it's not the biggest buzzing thing on my channel right now. And that's why it's still kind of taking a little bit of a back seat. Because all my other reviews, Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, those are the ones that, seem to keep the momentum more going. Yes, Collision could also, but again, Collision's on a Saturday night. If this was a weekday show, I'm pretty sure I would benefit more from these Collision reviews. But again, because of, again, the momentum is still like, with the more weekly reviews I do more often, which is why I keep saying I'm not going to do these Collision reviews consistently. But again, especially if we didn't have how the episode of Raw we had this past week, if I ever would drop Raw and SmackDown reviews again, then I probably would review consistently Collision and Dynamite. But man, when I saw that match on the next week, I'm like, it's too bad that I'm laying it down saying here that I gotta take a break. I've got to take a break this week from Collision. Although again, there is a match announced for this coming Saturday that I would have loved to have watched. It is that good of a match. One of the only matches that I've been interested in with the Trios tag titles for a long time. But let's talk about Collision. Took place again this past Saturday night, August 5th, 2023, in Greenville, South Carolina. And of course, this was the show that went on at the same time as WWE SummerSlam. And funny enough, because of course, again, this is going to be uploaded after I do my SummerSlam review. But funny enough, the main event match of this show was going on during the worst match of SummerSlam that nobody cared about, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in that MMA rules match. You want to hear my thoughts on that? Go watch my SummerSlam review. But yes, another excellent, fun show to watch We have some more progression towards All In. Again, it's a shame that, like some of us have kind of had to light a fire under Tony Khan's ass saying, okay, start announcing some matches, and we got them where we're still like 3 or 4 weeks away from All In, yes, but still, it's like, you would think they would have some of these, like, even like in WWE, there's some like matches they start building around like Royal Rumble that is more of a direction to WrestleMania. AEW's always feel like they're geared towards the next like special show. And they have all these special shows that, again, it prevents them from starting something from the beginning and building it towards the bigger event. I mean, we kind of had that in the bill for Double or Nothing with the Pillars Fatal 4-Way. We did have that. But like for All In, it's like you kind of had to start like making some things more concrete sooner, in my opinion. Not going to knock completely though, again. Still an excellent show. I'm excited to talk about it. Let's get rolling. We opened up the show with an AEW World Tag Title match. FTR taking on the Mobile Embassy's Brian Cage and Big Bill, or Big Ass. Because I do kind of miss the days when he would walk out and cover the sea. But anyways. Good opener. It definitely, of course, was not as good as the matches they had with Bullet Club Gold or Adam Cole and MJF like there was the previous weekend. But it was still a good match. Again, Brian Cage and Big Bill do kind of have something going for them. It still bothers me though, because again, like Big Bill, he hasn't had too much singles direction yet in his entire career. So he still feels like he's meant to be part of a stable. I feel he has to get some momentum there going to want to maybe see him be a single star. Brian Cage, again, I never really saw much of Brian Cage until he came to AEW. But again, he is a guy that he's really suffered from the crowded roster, and I am still surprised that he re-signed earlier this year. I really thought if anybody would leave to go to WWE, it would be him. But again, I am still waiting for him to get that strong main event singles push. And again, his performance this match does show that he is a guy that should be featured in the main event scene as well. But again, it was a good match. They're a good big man team. FTR, though, do retain. And afterwards, they start talking about what they've accomplished so far. And then they mentioned their trilogy with the Briscoes from last year. Being 10-time tag team champions across many promotions. There's one thing left they have to do. And they challenge the Young Bucks to a rubber match at All In. And of course, as soon as they challenge the Young Bucks, then of course the CMFTR stuff starts brewing up. Because I even still, with the hints they're throwing out on live TV, I still think things aren't as bad behind the scenes as they're making it seem like. But I think they're trying to make it seem like things are still rough behind the scenes with CM Punk and the Elite. Just so when they do finally clash, it's much more of a shock. So this could be a step in that direction. We'll see though. But yeah, Young Bucks and FTR at Wembley Stadium, awesome with me. Like, again, I don't mind them bringing in like RVD, like they are. Like I know some people are saying, "Oh, you're focused on like the has-beens." It's okay to throw someone like RVD who can still wrestle that has not gotten like too much TV time in AEW. And then you got Adam Cole and MJF. You've got the Young Bucks. Again, I know RVD and Jack Perry are supposed to be fighting tonight. Even though I wish they do something to hold it off until All In. But same time, it's like you're still giving like the talent who need the spotlight their spotlight. And of course, we're also getting some build toward All Out as well with some of these matches, but still. But yeah, that is a match that you definitely do at Wembley. Young Bucks, FTR. I feel like their matches, the couple matches they've had already, just seem to get better and better and better. Like their first match that they had at Full Gear 2020 was good. Probably their weakest match, I'd say, so far. But they did have... I know they had another match on Dynamite. I'm wondering if they're not counting as a pay-per-view matches. I feel like they've already wrestled 3 times. I'm not sure if it's been 2-on-2 or, 6-man tags or whatnot. But I feel like they've wrestled more than twice. But I know the last match or two they've had was definitely classic level. And they have to go all out at All In Wembley. But I'm excited to see that match for sure at Wembley on August 27th. That will be a phenomenal match. We also have Tony Schiavone interviewing Bullet Club Gold, Jay White and Juice Robinson, with the Guns, toying around with Tony Khan, holding some big life-size Jay White stand-up, and he's getting ready to wrestle Metalik later, formerly known as Grand Metalik in WWE. We also had a TBS championship match between Kris Statlander and Mercedes Martinez, which was a good match. Kris Statlander, though, did win. I'm kind of hoping, though, that they don't get to... Because I'm cool with them having the TNT title on all the time. It seems exclusive now to Collision, which is fine. That's on TNT. I feel they should, out of respect, because that's when it was formed, keep the TBS title on Dynamite. Because, they really haven't done much with Kris on Dynamite for a little bit, so maybe that's why I'm thinking they're doing more on Collision. But, again, if you want to come to Collision occasionally, sure, but that should be a Dynamite-focused title. But also, I do like that they gave Mercedes Martinez some TV time. I'm hoping, if they're trying to keep some women exclusive to Collision, one of them is Mercedes Martinez. Again, she is somebody else who I've been a fan of since the Mae Young Classic. Could easily be one of the best women on your roster could benefit. But of course, NXT screwed that up. They took her to the main roster to be a part of Retribution. I can't even remember what dumb name they were going to use for her. But even she kind of talked them to get her out of that. It's this is not for me. Send me back to NXT. And then of course she got released. But that was a huge missed opportunity right there for WWE. But I am hoping she gets a spotlight on Collision. And they seem to be setting something up, though, because after the match, Martinez attacked Kris, and then Diamante came in and attacked Kris as well, forming a team with Mercedes Martinez. And then Will Nightingale came out, and they're set up for a tag match next week on Collision. Cool. Like I said, give Mercedes Martinez TV time. She will benefit your women's division for sure. Of course, they need it because of how much drama there is, so, ugh. Anyways, speaking of the women's champion, Tony Schiavone is interviewing now former champion Toni Storm, who's saying how she feels naked without her women's title and she doesn't feel like herself. And she basically tells Tony to screw off and walks away. I guess that means it's because I thought that Tony was going to be taking a little bit of time off because she's going to be in that. She got that one role in that one movie that Liv Morgan was supposed to get. But maybe they are doing a rematch with Shida and Tony at Wembley, even though I feel like they should do Shida and Saraya because they're wrestling in Saraya's home country. I don't know, though, because now also I'm hearing Jamie Hayter may not be back till February of 2024. Ouch. But we'll see, of course, where that goes there. Samoa Joe squashed Serpentico. Afterwards, he cuts his promo. And I instantly felt like I was watching 2016 NXT again when he was going nuts over Shinsuke Nakamura trying to get his title back. The days of Regal! Give me Nakamura or hand me my championship! Well, it wasn't quite that, but it was still The story told here was that. But anyways, Samoa Joe cut a promo. He proclaimed himself as the one true king of television. He calls out CM Punk. Says Punk is not the best in the world. However, his loss in the Owen Hart tournament against Punk made him think. He spoke about their legacy and say that a roll-up is not good enough. So he challenged Punk to a rematch at All In. And he says this is an invitation for 1 week only. And if you don't give him an answer, he'll best believe to convince him to accept. Now, we didn't see Joe for the rest of the night. But, of course, we all know that CM Punk's got his hands much more fuller as well, because he also has Pretty Ricky Starks, to deal with as well, who's been a thorn in his side since the finals of the Owen Hart tournament. We'll get to them in a second. Tony Schiavone had a sit-down interview with the Acclaimed. Now, I did not review, of course, Collision when the episode Collision when this happened, or did I? I can't remember. But Billy Gunn seemingly recently retired. He left his boots in the ring and he seemingly retired. I don't know if that's storyline-wise or if that is legit. But the Acclaimed are being interviewed. They try to get in contact with Billy Gunn, but he's adamant that he is retired. Billy feels at fault and thinking he's the reason they couldn't win the Trios tag titles. But they thank Billy for everything and talk about how much he's meant to them. And the Acclaimed say they want to bring Billy's boots to the ring in every match they have. So again, is this a story? Or, if because, they know that, the energy's still there with Billy Gunn's sense there. But we'll see what they do with this. We'll see if this is a story or what. I don't know, though, especially also since they've already had, 2 shots at the Trios tag titles. And the match is set up for next week, which I think I can say it now. It's CMFTR versus the House of Black. I don't know if it's that House of Rules match or whatnot, which I don't know. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, if I'm being real. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because, again, they're still booking, which actually that's the next thing we're talking about anyways. They had the Trios Tag Champs, House of Blacks, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black defeated a team of Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and Lee Johnson. Okay, if they're trying to make these titles feel like workhorse titles, I get it, but it feels like something's still missing with these title reigns. They're only defending the titles, they're popping here and there. It's not like if you want it to feel like it feels like they're trying to make it feel like John Cena's U.S. title reign with the open challenges, and they're issuing these weekly challenges to these House of Rule matches. Cool. Also, though, I'm still thrown off too because remember when you had Malachi Black and Brody King fight a few weeks ago as Kings of the Black Throne? Also, it's why do they have 2 different identities? So that's still a little confusing to me. But yeah, though, they won. Next week, though, like I said, I'm not going to watch the show, unfortunately, because I want to take a break. But I would have if I wasn't feeling a break. But we are going to be getting the House of Black versus CMFTR. And I'm very, very interested to see what the outcome of that match will be. Of course, also, could things happen that Samoa Joe costs them if Punk doesn't give him an answer? Punk still, of course, has beef with Ricky Starks, even with the fallout from his match on this show, which we'll get to that very, very shortly. We'll see, though. There's a lot to think about. Because, again, Punk's got a big target on his back. He has a very, very huge target on his back. QT Marshall and Hartley Cameron trying to talk to Powerhouse Hobbs. And QT, remember, cost Hobbs his spot in the tournament. They try to buy Hobbs effects with some gold and claim that All Out will be a new beginning for him. Hobbs takes the gold but says he doesn't need their help and leaves. So he's going to have a match at All Out. And a lot of people say that he's going to be fighting Miro. Which, okay. Because I think also because remember when it was Aaron Solo who attacked Miro like 2 weeks on Collision? I'm guessing that's what they're doing it for. I mean, I guess if the story is QT Marshall trying to make up for what he did, but I just don't think it's gonna work. And once again, as I keep saying, I just don't see QT Marshall as anything more than a freaking jobber. But so we'll see how that goes. This was good. Tony Schiavone interviewed the TNT champion Luchasaurus and the self-proclaiming himself TNT champion Christian Cage. And you don't see this at first, but Christian Cage brought his daughter with him. And he still called himself the TNT champion. And he takes issue with Darby Allin. And it sounds like they're going to be doing Christian Cage and Darby Allin at All Out. And then his daughter asks him, "Daddy, can I hold the belt?" And then Christian goes, "No, you didn't earn it. Only people who earn the belt can hold the title." And he calls for security to pull his daughter, saying that she isn't credentialed as well. It's like, dude, you didn't win the title either. But that was cold, but that was good. I still thought it was good. So yeah, I do look forward to seeing what they do next with Christian Cage calling himself the TNT champion when Luchasaurus is doing all the dirty work for him, but he's walking around with the title. Switchblade Jay White had a good match with Metalik. I do miss when he was Grand Metalik in the Cruiserweight Classic, but he still had a good match here with Switchblade. And then the main event. It was CM Punk, the real AEW World Champion, versus Ricky Starks, with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as a special guest ring enforcer. Match was good, as you expected it to be. And of course, the story here is, again, CM Punk brought in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat because he needed someone he can rely on to make sure Ricky Starks doesn't cheat. Because the story here is Ricky Starks has been cheating lately because he feels like that's the only way he can succeed in AEW. So the match was what you expected, but then towards the end of the match, Ricky Starks tries using the ropes to pin CM Punk. And Ricky the Dragon Steamboat pushed him off the ropes. And when that happened, Punk rolled up Ricky Starks. I don't think there was a GTS used in the match. But Punk rolled up Ricky Starks and he retained his real AEW World title. Afterwards, though, Starks snaps. He completely snaps. He shoves CM Punk out of the ring, and he starts beating up Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And then he pulled out Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's belt, and he started whooping him with his belt. Punk tried to get back in, I think, once, but then Ricky shoved him again off the apron. And then Ricky just went haywire on the Dragon. And so badly that Punk had to literally get a chair in his hand to scare off Starks. Which that's when finally Ricky ran off. And of course, Punk, tended to Steamboat, but damage was done. So, some people are saying this could be setting up Ricky the Starks versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I don't know. I mean, some people are saying Ricky apparently can still wrestle. I don't know when the last time he wrestled. I know he wrestled in 2009 against Chris Jericho. But I don't know if he's wrestled since. I don't really follow anything else. But, I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, it'd be nice to get Ricky Starks on the card at All In, but I don't know. That one's not like, oh my gosh, give it to me like it is with Jungle Boy and RVD. This one's kind of like, but we'll see. But another great episode of Collision. I gave it a B+. Almost an A-, but not quite. B+ though for Collision. Again, I would love to watch this coming weekend show with CMFTR versus the House of Black. But again, I just need a break. I really, really need a break. So once again, this will be uploaded after I do my SummerSlam review live. Now tomorrow, not going to guarantee it, but because of some talking points from the show. I may do my Raw review tomorrow live. I will be doing, either way, I'll be doing my Raw review tomorrow unless something comes up tonight that causes a delay. But I may do my Raw review live tomorrow. No guarantee about that. But again, just trying to get caught up, and I have a few turn alerts to do as well. So, we'll see. But that's my review of Collision. What are your guys' thoughts on Collision? I gave it a B+. What are your thoughts also on the matches that are made official for All In and some stuff for All Out as well? And what's your thoughts also, of course, on the possibility of Ricky Starks versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheClubWithTheMan93. And also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at TheClubWithTheMan1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you guys all later. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that's not in the fit. That's not just an opinion. It's a fact of life. Yeah!